Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel, The Eagles Trader. This is Mutiu Adeshokun. Today I have this topic I like to discuss with you guys, and it's more or less like a question. And this is what a lot of people has been asking me, and the question goes this way: is Forex a gamble? That's the question people has been asking me. And I ask, why do you ask this question? They say because when they tell their imam or their pastors they're trying to learn and go into the financial market and the aspect of forex trading, but some of them got an answer like, oh, forex is gamble, forex is this, oh, don't go there. No. N-O, capital N-O. Forex isn't a gamble. Forex is a business. The only way you could want to relate Forex to gamble is when you stop to follow the procedures of Forex trading. When you failed to continue to go by the rules and the terms and the trading setups and the trading rules, then if you go against those things, then you could eventually find yourself in a position where people can classify it as gamble. So Forex is not gamble. And I'm going to give you some instances. So I'm going to give some instances that kind of differentiate Forex from you classifying it as gamble. Gamble is only when you go to casino. Or gamble is only when you and someone maybe bet on one thing or the other. Forex is no gamble. Forex is a business. It only depends on how you trade the market that will make it to classify that will make it to classify it as gamble. Now there are up to 4 things like analysis that we normally look into before we trade of Forex. Now, first of all, before I go ahead, Forex, based on the origin of when it started in the 70s, this is where majority of the advanced countries like the US, Europe, and some part of Asia continent come together and decide to maybe choose the dollar as the dominant foreign reserve currency all over the world. So now, with that being explained, for you to trade Forex, it's just like you're buying the currency of one country over the other. So how is Forex a gamble? No. Let's assume I want to go to Australia and I have a US dollar on me. When I get to Australia, I can't spend my US dollar in Australia, despite the fact that they spend Australian dollars too in Australia. I can't. I will need to convert my US dollar to the Australian currency, which is the Australian dollar, before I could be able to spend the dollar. If I go to Australia, I can't spend my dollar there. If I go to Japan, where they spend yen, or if I go to UK, where they spend the pound sterling, there's no way I'm going to spend your US dollar on the street. I will have to convert my dollar to the UK currency, which is the pound sterling. I will have to convert my dollar to the Japanese currency, which is the yen. I will have to convert my dollar to the Nigerian currency, which is naira, before I could be able to spend my money in that country. Without me changing or exchanging these currencies, there's no way I'm going to be able to spend my dollar in that country unless after I finish changing these 2 currencies, then I can go ahead and spend my currency. So I believe my explanation is good enough to kind of change your mindset from thinking that Forex is gamble. Forex is no gamble. It's all about exchange of one country currency over the other. Let's assume, okay, let me give another example. Let's assume you want to buy a car from Japan and you live in Africa. or maybe like Nigeria. You can't buy a car with Naira from Nigeria. You need to convert Naira to Japanese yen before you can buy the car from Japan. Let's assume you want to buy Apple iPhone or Apple computer from the US. You need to convert Naira to dollar before you can be able to buy Apple iPhone or Apple computer from the US. Without that, there's no way you can spend or buy anything from the US. So you will have to convert Naira to the dollar on the international market before you could be able to buy or import from the US. So that is one aspect of Forex, because Forex is all about buying and selling or exchanging one country's currency over exchanging one country currency to another country currency. Now, why do we trade Forex? Now, we trade Forex to predict about the economy, or to predict on the economy of one country to the other, which economy is stronger. Like we all know, the US has the strongest economy in the world. That makes it number one. Then we have China coming as number two, second largest economy. So you have the UK, you have India, you have France, you have Germany. These are all powerhouse. So how do we now trade the Forex? Currency comes in the sense that I want to buy dollar when I know that the Germans' economy is sluggish. I know when I buy dollar, I want to kind of analyze that there's probability that dollar will go up. It could be based on different reasons. There could be a reason. If I could also say the euro, because the German and the other European countries, they spend euro. I could say predict and say, okay, or make an analysis that the euro is going to go up against the dollar. It depends on the current economic situation in the eurozone, in the Germany. That's going to depend on the US currency and the exchange between which economy is stronger between both countries. So, like I said earlier, I did mention about what we call analysis. There are different factors that we look into before we go into buying, predicting, or selling one country's currency over the other. Number one, we have the fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis is very large. It contains a lot of information coming out from a particular country against another country. Let's say I'm in the US right now, or no, I'm in the US presently though. Okay, now let's say I want to buy the dollar. Now, every month I need to check about the news that's coming out from the US. Maybe the unemployment news. There's something what I would call the PMI, the Producer Manufacturing Index. There's another one we call maybe inflation news, unemployment news, and some other factors could trigger that could affect the economy of a country. But it could be also high unemployment, high inflation rate. It could also be natural disasters or maybe terrorism. And these are things that we want to look into. If most of this information are positive, you could see the US dollar keep going up. That is going to help to, let me try see if I can show you some images. Okay, I have the graph here. That will help to maybe try to show you that the currency of the US is going to go up. If there's any negative news coming out from the US, it could also mean that the economy of the US is weak. So that could also affect the US economy as well. We also have another one, which is technical analysis. The technical analysis is the one that we look at the graphs. This is the graph to also predict where market is coming from and to where market is actually heading to every week, every day. And we also have sentimental analysis. The sentimental analysis is based on individual decision. It's based on the people's. It's based on the decision of of majority of people in that country who are predicting or their opinion about if the economy is strong or is weak, or if you are to buy or not buy or stay away from the market. Then the last one is about the commodities. Each countries have what they produce, or supply, or manufacture. Let's assume, like you see, Saudi Arabia is a major oil producer. Russia is a major oil and gas producer. Right now, Russia is under heavy sanction from the international market and from the Western nations. Now it's affecting the Russian economy. Definitely, the Russian economy is crumbling, is shrinking right now due to heavy sanction on them. So you don't want to buy robots. You don't want to invest in Russia because the profit you're going to make is not going to be anything. It's not going to yield nothing. So you buying the Russian ruble is useless right now compared to other currency due to heavy sanction. So now the best currency you want to be looking at is, okay, which country is doing great? Okay, the US, some of the Eurozone, and some part of the Asian economy like Japan, like Singapore, like all countries. See, all these economy, even China right now, they're facing some economic crisis. So these are things that we look into before we buy currency or before we analyze and project if a currency of a country is going to move higher, or if the country economy is weak where we have to stay away or maybe to sell. So these 4 analysis factors: fundamental analysis, sentimental analysis, commodities, and technical analysis, which is the graph. These are all the things that we look into before we go ahead to predict maybe we have to buy a currency or to sell a currency. So I believe I've shed enough light for you in this aspect if for Forex trading is a gamble. So Forex is not a gamble. It's a way where you invest your money, you trade it as a business the right way. So this is what I have for you today. So please like my video. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up, like, share.